What's up?
Hey.
came on kind of fast there.
You came. I don't know what that was.
Wasn't sure what was happening.
I don't know what that was.
What's up, man? How are you?
I ain't your man. Hey, I'm good.
What's up, boo?
How is you?
What's up, girl? You drinking your protein shake?
Yes, and I would just like to point out
Point it out.
for my wonderful brother-in-law.
Yep.
I have a plant. I have some books. I have a drink. We have things.
So let y'all know, he put in the comments that her desk looked too empty.
Apparently.
Yes.
I'm too clean.
But
which is really weird because he is very OCD like
he
me.
is. He is.
I can't imagine that he has stuff all over his desk. But hey,
yeah. It's what yeah.
you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
I have things.
You have things. You do have things now. You have things.
I have things. Maybe I'll switch it up every week.
There you go. That'd be interesting to see.
Different things on.
Yes.
Like Friends, how they have different things on the back of the. You didn't watch Friends.
No, I was not a big Friends fan.
Well, in Joey and Chandler's apartment, they used to change the little Etch-a-Sketch.
Okay.
Thing, or the
Okay.
the back.
I'll take your word for it.
Chalkboard? I forgot. Anyway.
Okay.
Somebody used to draw something different every time.
Okay. Gotcha. I don't know who's gonna do that, but bet.
I
So
don't care.
we at the last minute changed what we were gonna talk about for this one.
I didn't even know what we were talking about for the first time.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes.
But there's an interesting topic that's kind of it's seen it. I don't know. Floating around with different people, or we've seen it come up with different people, or I don't know how you'd quite describe it.
Maybe when you say it, then I'll be like, oh yeah.
So we're going to be talking about relationships and social media.
Let's go ahead and talk about that because I got a lot to say.
Okay, so we're going to dive right in. We're going to dive right in.
Yeah.
And something I found a study online and just some quick statistics, right, as we're getting into this topic. So, law firm actually did a study, which is kind of odd.
No, it's not.
Well, okay.
Like lawyers.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They're trying to show the people.
So they found that year over year, a 20% annual increase in Facebook enrollment was associated with a 2 to 4% increase in divorce rates.
Wow. 2 to 4%
increase in divorce rates. So the more Facebook enrollments there were, the higher the divorce rate went. Currently, 1 in 3 divorces start from online affairs. 30% of Tinder users are married.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
That blows my mind.
That doesn't surprise me.
I mean, I guess we've been out that game for a long time, so I don't think about that stuff. But I'm like, wow,
that doesn't surprise me.
So
there's some cheating folks out there,
or
maybe it doesn't start always as cheating.
It might.
Maybe Tinder. Y'all trying to find some buddies.
Yeah.
For y'all's extracurricular activities.
Yeah. That's legit right there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't even want to say it starts innocent because I feel like there's just some playgrounds you shouldn't play in. I don't know.
Preach that.
Yeah. I don't.
Well, okay. So like, I think it can fairly. Okay, let's not say innocent, right? Like people, I would say innocent. I would say you get online. It's social media. You're trying to connect with family, friend, like you just online.
Yeah.
And that leads to you talking to somebody else and connecting with, then you find a connection with somebody else.
Yes.
So then it becomes the playground that you shouldn't be playing in.
There we go. You said it much better than I did.
But like there's nothing wrong with like mommy groups and so you can't say.
Yeah. So I guess when I say playing in wrong playgrounds, it's when like I don't need to be.
Okay. So what's our topic again?
Relationships and social media.
Okay, but like relationships as in like you being in a relationship with another person, like partners. Like
how the use of social media plays into relationships. So like
any relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So like me and you, for example, because this is our show and that's what we're gonna talk about, right?
You can do that.
There we go. I can do that. So like, and this takes it a little bit further than social media, but you have access to my phone.
Yeah.
Right. So you have the password to my phone. You can get into everything on my phone except my work apps, just because I can get fired for that, and we don't want that to happen. But you have access to everything else. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Is it top secret?
It's just proprietary stuff that, no, you can't have. Really? We're okay.
Okay, go ahead. I didn't know. I mean, are you like a double agent? I didn't know I could have, like, if I just want to be like, hey,
I can't tell you what I do.
what's your email? Oh, I know what you do. Whatever. See, this is why people should tune in on YouTube, because you make some weird faces.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
you have access to my phone, right?
Yes.
So at any point in time, if you wanted to check my phone, you could.
Yeah.
And it's not like I feel like you're snooping around or something like that, right?
Right.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
But like with social media, when you add that into it, like there's some accounts that I don't follow. Like I don't think I need to follow.
Yeah.
Because there's some things that I don't need to look at.
Right. Did you used to follow him?
I did at one point in time.
Right.
And then as I continue to grow and mature and like, maybe that's not the best thing or the smartest thing for me to be looking at, because, and we'll get into it a little bit more, but I want to hear your take on it. Like, how do you feel about the whole, social media, who follows who, different accounts, all that kind of stuff?
Well, I think that, like you talked about, there's a boundary that you shouldn't cross.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things that you shouldn't allow yourself to get into, right? Like I feel like it can open up some bad doors. It can open up some doors to cause root in your life that shouldn't be there, that probably could have been avoided. But at the same time, I also believe that, which we've seen in our own lives, that you can have really great relationships. For example, our friends in Florida, had it not been for Instagram, we would have never met them, and we would have never been as close as we are, and we would have never connected the way we did.
Right.
So I think that there's a lot of good that can come out of it when it's used properly.
Ah, man, that's key.
Right. So is it a bad thing? No. If it's used in the right context, if it's used for the right reasons, sure, I think it's great. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff out there. That's the whole reason I don't have Facebook. It was just not for me.
Right.
Not because I was tempted by anything, whatever. It was because news story after news, it was putting fear in my life. And I think I was pregnant with Evelyn at the time. And it was when baby snatching was getting really big and people were just picking up people's kids. Like, they had no fear trying to grab people's babies. I was scared. I was like, man, people are going to pick my kids up. Jalen can't talk.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And so I had to get off.
And that made it tough, me trying to talk you off a ledge.
Yeah. I was like, he ain't riding the bus. He's not riding the bus anymore.
He's not doing nothing.
He's not doing it. Our babies are staying in a bubble.
That was rough.
That was hard for me.
That was really hard.
And so because of that, and then I'd find myself clicking another story and another story. And I'd look up and like 3 hours are gone.
Yeah.
That's 3 hours I could have spent with my kids.
Yeah.
That's 3 hours I could have been doing something else with my life. That's 3 hours I could have been watching TV, like watching my shows, eating a snack. I'm just saying.
So,
but it put me in a very bad place.
Right.
And I knew that.
Right.
And I thought, I need to get off.
Right.
And that led to, you know what? I really honestly don't need it. Like, I need a break too. I really honestly don't need it.
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten on since. And it's been what? Well, AV7.
Yeah, so it's been a long time.
7. So I mean, it'll be like 8 years.
So some of the things that we've heard recently with different couples,
different people,
is like, hey, I found like one person in the relationship like found an old friend, and like reconnected, and then it's like deleting messages or sliding in DMs, different stuff like that. Or just, we've also heard like, hey, he follows accounts that I don't think he needs to be following, like, or he's looking at girls that I don't think he needs to be looking at, or why is she friends with this dude? Like, we've seen all those scenarios, right? We've seen all those scenarios.
Right.
And I kind of look at that from a perspective. So I'm gonna be like real open and transparent right now. So, some of my struggles in the past, dealt with pornography for like the better part of 2 decades.
Right.
And so I look at it from the standpoint of I have to be more guarded about what I look at because I've
Yeah.
seen the effects that like porn can have on a relationship.
Right.
And like just terrible, right? And
Right.
that's a whole nother episode in and of itself. But when you begin to look at, if I start looking at accounts or other females that a lot of suggestive stuff or whatever, whatnot, like it begins to create an appetite
Yeah.
in me for something that I should only have an appetite for you.
Listen. Also,
Also,
yes, also this creating an appetite, I can't fulfill that. I will not ever be able to fulfill that.
Yep.
I will always feel less than if I ever were to know, right?
Right.
But then also you'll be seeking something in me, one that if you were hiding this, I would never know.
Right.
Right? So you're seeking it, not getting it fulfilled. I'm thinking we're good.
Yeah.
There's so much can happen, and there's so many different roads that you could take with that.
Yeah.
I cannot fulfill that
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be looking at that.
Right.
Whatever it is with your partner, whatever you guys discuss, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not for us.
Right.
That is we have learned I'm not gonna be able to fulfill that for you.
Yeah.
You are trying to get this image or whatever it is. And and we're not even talking about pornography. We're talking about just seeing somebody online, someone who has the same interests as you. They love cars. They work out. They do all the things that you love.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of those things. You are going to become more aware of this other person.
Yeah. You start to create a bond,
Yeah.
especially if you start sliding into DMs and start having
And
conversations.
you're just having a conversation. Oh, hey.
Yep. It's all
Hey.
innocent at first.
It's all innocent. And not to say you can't have the same interests, not to say that you can't connect with somebody, but something where you should only be connecting with your husband a certain way or your wife or your partner a certain way, that should not be carried on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because 1 to 2 to 3 innocent little DMs, whatever here and there, become so much more.
Yeah.
And then you find yourself doing other things. So whatever. I don't know.
It's
People are crazy.
It really is, man. And we go back to these statistics, like the whole that 1 in 3 divorces is starting because of online affairs. It's like, so that is, your Instagrams, your Facebooks, you're starting relationships there, right? With people, like it's getting away from a whole, like it's not
Is
actually
it recent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This was done in 2019.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure it's pretty hard to do stuff like this, studies like this during COVID and stuff like that. But I bet you it probably increased because more people
sure
were
it did.
separated, and like online was really the only way you had to communicate
Yeah.
with people. So, I mean, we know some personal stories of people that have connected, over online stuff and
Yeah, because you share a common interest,
Yeah.
and that's okay. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with finding a group
Yep.
that has the same interests as you. But we've seen that it can easily lead to you connecting on the back end.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
So and I feel like I'm a little bit all over the place just because this is like a really, like there's a lot on this topic.
Yeah.
But we were talking about social media and then talking about, phones and, you have access, stuff like that. How do you feel about each, like couples having access to each other's phone?
What do you mean?
Like, you think that's a good thing? Do you think it's like an invasion of privacy, or like, hey, you should trust me, so you shouldn't be, go snooping around, or and really snooping shouldn't happen.
Snooping shouldn't happen. But one, that you lose trust,
Right.
right? And you've never given me reason not to trust you, right? Well, not never. I mean,
Yes. Yep.
But if you continue to that's another appetite. If I sit here and I'm like, what's in Mark's phone?
Mm-hmm.
You're honest with me. You're open. I have your codes. I hardly go into your phone. I don't have a reason to.
Right.
I don't have a reason to feel like you're snooping. I don't have a reason to think that I need to look at it, but I know that it's open to me. It's accessible to me. I don't think that there is anything wrong with having each other's passcodes or access or whatever you want to call it. Like, why am I getting so offended about not being able to?
You're right.
Why don't I trust you?
You're right.
So there's something in me too that I have to look at and say, why am I so curious to know why I don't trust him?
That's a whole
Has he done
aspect
anything? Have you acted out of, your norm?
Right.
If you've acted out of your norm, okay, maybe I'll start questioning.
Right.
But I'm gonna come to you straight up and be like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then me, because I'm petty and because I just don't care, I'm like, give me your phone. Okay, then give me your phone. Whatever.
Yep.
And then if you tell me no, okay, why?
Yeah.
It's gonna lead to something.
Oh, for sure.
You're gonna have to tell me something.
For sure.
You're gonna have to tell me why. You're gonna have to whatever. But I can easily look at your DMs though, or your text messages or whatever, and I can create my own scenario in my head.
Man.
Text messages, listen, how many times have we talked to people, have we text people, and it is nothing like what you expect.
Yeah, for sure.
The conversation, oh my God, they're mad at me. They're using all caps. They are whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like it says it like this.
Yep.
And it was not the intended voice or tone or whatever.
Man, that's like speech 101 is to make sure
Right.
the communicated message is the intended message, and text is
Man.
the worst.
Text is awful. It's awful. DM's awful. I can create a whole scenario in my head over a DM.
Yep.
And it could mean absolutely nothing.
Right.
It could be absolutely nothing. Should you have been talking to the person in the first place? I think that's going to be on you to decide. That's between you and God. Should you have been talking to this person? What was the whole purpose of one of you talking to one another?
Right.
Where did that go? But I will also say this. Anytime you've ever connected or talked to somebody at work, on the computer, whatever, you have always told me about them.
Yep.
You have never hidden a person
Yep.
from me.
So
And vice versa.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no point.
so we got many shows to come, but I'll share a little
Man.
bit more just because I
Yeah.
feel like it's kind of touching on this
yeah,
topic.
yeah.
So some years ago, Abby and I, we went through it, and I was unfaithful.
Yeah.
I had an affair, an emotional affair.
Yeah.
And since we came back from that, and so thankful for the people that were around us that
Yeah.
helped walk us through it and come back from it. And our marriage has
For
been
sure.
so much stronger because of that. But I am extra about being forthcoming about any conversations I have with females.
Right.
I was working at a previous job I worked at, and there was a person that I was like hanging out with because we had projects together, whatever, whatnot. And I heard people begin to talk and like questioning. And man, the first thing I did, I came home and I was like, babe, look, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. Like, I want you to know, like, there's
Yeah.
nothing happening. Like, Abby didn't even work with me. Like, she wasn't even
Yeah.
there at the office. She came up there sometimes, and she knew some of the ladies that I work with
Yeah.
and introduced them. And I am extra about being forthcoming and on the up and up when anytime I'm having any type of conversation
Right.
with a female.
Right.
And that's just not because she asked me to,
No.
but it's because I need to and want to hold myself
Yeah.
accountable. I know the men around me that hold me accountable,
Right.
and I want, like, this marriage matters so much more than
Right.
something stupid that can get construed and get messed up.
True. That's true. And I'll also say that, I'm sure people are like, but what if it's my job to connect? What if I get that.
Yeah.
I don't think there is anything wrong with that. You used to take trips with a lot of the women.
I had to travel for work, and I traveled
You
with ladies.
traveled with ladies 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And usually it was either just the two of you or whatever. I can honestly, truthfully say, I never once ever questioned, were you cheating? What were you really doing? And you were gone a lot. You worked for American Airlines. You were gone all the time.
Yep.
You flew all over this country
Yeah.
to different places
Yep.
for weeks at a time.
Yep.
I never questioned you, and I truly believe I never questioned you. One, because I trust you. Two, and that's not to say I've never not trusted you, that we have walked through a lot of hard areas in our life where your trust,
I
my
gave you
trust
every reason not to trust me.
could easily have been broken.
Oh, for sure.
100%. But I chose to learn to trust you again.
Yeah.
I chose this marriage. So in that, I never once questioned, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Why is he doing
Yep.
this? Who you out with?
Yep.
And it, and many times you've been like, hey, me and Tiffany, me and such, we're going to go downstairs and go have a few drinks. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Call me later.
Yeah.
Text me before you go to bed. I mean, I've never questioned it. Not one time.
Yeah.
But I believe it's because you were very honest. You never gave room for any type of thought.
Man.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you never gave room for there to be any guessing.
Yep.
And it wasn't like, I got to go tell Abby because I don't want her to think anything.
Yep.
I never even known these women.
Yep.
I don't know a lot of your coworkers. I met them. I met a few of them, whatever. You taken me on a couple of trips and I met them there. I never met them any other time.
Yep.
But you've always been on top of it. And I appreciate that, because had it not been for that, I could have easily gone, us not talk. I mean, come on, communication is like number one.
Oh, for sure.
If you're not talking to me and we're just passerbyers,
Yep.
you're working your job, I'm working mine. I'm at home with the kids all the time. You're leaving all the time and we're just hi bye, and you come home every few days or so.
Yeah.
I'm going to feel insecure. I'm going to feel a loss of security. I'm going to feel like, what are you doing? Are you having more? Or do you not have fun with me? Are you having more fun when you're on these trips instead of having fun with your own family?
Yeah.
So many different seeds can be planted and rooted in my brain. But I think if you're on the up about communicating and being like, hey, such and such text, such and such, da-da-da. Not to say that I asked for it,
Right.
but it was just our random conversation because we communicated.
Yeah.
I never had any reason to not believe that. But I will also say, if you are dealing with trust issues and you have not trusted your partner again, it's going to be hard. Well, he's giving me a reason. Well, he's cheated before.
Yeah.
Okay, but did you choose your marriage? Did you choose your relationship? If you chose it, you're going to have to work on that. Then that's on you. That becomes a hard issue for me to deal with, because I said I wanted to work on this, but I stopped trusting you.
Yeah.
How else am I going to build trust?
Yeah.
Are you continuing to communicate with me? Are you communicating with me? Are you doing your part when you said you were sorry and you stepped out and you didn't want to do this anymore? You chose us. Da 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 da. And it was a lot of hard conversations and a lot of visiting the subject a lot, over and over and over again, until I was blue in the face, until your ears were bleeding from me asking you at random times. But I chose this marriage, which means I have to choose to trust you, which means I don't care about your phone. I have to stop caring about all those things, because the bigger picture is our marriage. The bigger picture is us. So why are you smiling at me like that?
Girl, you so sexy when you dropping knowledge.
Is it my red lipstick? I'm
You're
really
so
tired.
sexy when you dropping knowledge. I'm
Somebody
just
come get
like,
this, man.
This my wife. Man.
Listen, I feel real passionate about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Real passionate.
Yeah.
And I believe it's because we've walked through those things.
That's it, man. Like when the stuff that we talk about, like, we're not talking about it just cause willy nilly. Like we've lived this stuff. Like, we legit have had to walk through these hard things, and we've counseled other couples. Like, and we've counseled couples that have found things in the phone, stuff like that, and they've dealt with cheating or whatnot. And it's like, look, like if you choose to continue down this road and you say, hey, I want this marriage to work, both of y'all are saying this, then at some point in time, one's gonna have to forgive the other for what they did, and you're gonna have to choose to, okay, I'm going to work to allow them to build trust back, because if trust is lost, obviously you have to build it back. It's not just automatic or something like that.
Yeah.
But by the same token, I've heard you tell ladies before, like, if you go looking for stuff, you're gonna find what you're looking for.
Something. And
like,
we've had
you will.
so many couples that we've counseled on. Well, he did it before. If I didn't look, I wouldn't have found this.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know what? At the end of the day, he has personal responsibility too. Was he right for doing it? Was she right for doing it? No.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here saying taking sides off of they were still wrong for what they did.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But as a partner, did you do your part? Did you choose to forgive? Did you choose to trust? Did you choose the relationship?
Yeah.
You've done your part. If you can sit back and things always come to surface.
Man, I tell you what,
There's not one thing
that's Bible right there. Your sins will find you out.
Listen, and if you don't find it on this earth, Jesus gonna get y'all.
I'm telling you,
it's gonna be found out.
You cannot hide it.
It's gonna be found out.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's gonna come. It's gonna come up.
Yep.
Something's gonna happen.
Oh, for sure.
So a situation is going to happen where you get found out.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and
it's funny, the things like when we hear like, oh, this is how I found out, or this is how I found out. Most of the time it's in like the dumbest way. And it's like, how could you be so stupid? But that's the thing. It's when you're doing dirt like that, you begin missing the little things.
Man, why? I just want to know.
Yeah. What's up?
Why?
I don't like this question.
No, it's a good question.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's a good question. Look, Tinder, social media, you're connecting with people.
Yep.
Why? Look, if you plan on pursuing that, why are you still with me? Why are you still hanging around? Don't say for the kids. Don't say let me go. Why linger it on, right?
Yeah.
Or what? Are you confused about that relationship because you don't know where that one's going?
Yeah.
So just in case, I'm your backup because I was on the front with you before I became a backup. So let me go. Listen, why tippy toe and why? That's a lot of work, and I'm lazy.
It is.
That's a lot of work to be hiding stuff,
It
to meet with another person, to do whatever you're doing. You got married to have sex anyway. So I mean, I'm just saying. Are you bored? Are you that? Those are side conversations that you should be having with your spouse.
Man, that's it right there.
If there is something you are seeking,
right?
And again, I'm not talking about. I'm intimacy in general, conversation, and we've heard that.
Yeah.
I want to have intellectual conversations. She does not. He does not. Whatever. We don't talk. We don't have this.
Yeah.
Whatever you are missing, have you spoken to the other one about that?
Yep.
Okay, they're not fulfilled. Okay, I understand. That doesn't give you reason to step out. But again, if I didn't do my part in trying to figure out a solution for us,
right.
I'm letting you walk into that.
Yeah.
I have just as much responsibility in this to work on us.
Yeah.
And if you're saying this is a need I'm not meeting.
Yeah.
And maybe I am, but if are we going to counseling?
Yep.
Are we seeking another couple? Or are we trying to figure this out on our own?
Yeah.
If we're just trying to figure it,
a lot of times that don't work out too well.
That doesn't work out. There's a lot of things that you should do on your own as a couple. But if you are not finding common ground and I still feel like you are still unhappy, one, bro, you need to leave me.
Yeah.
Leave me, let me go. You can see the kids. Hell, you can take them if you want to. You know what I'm saying? My kids like me better anyway, and I'm gonna tell them to keep reminding that little girl of yours that my mommy's better anyway. But seriously, I just think, what's the point? That's tiring.
Yeah,
that's real tiring to have a different conversation, different relationships.
Yeah,
that's like, y'all ain't tired.
Like, man, okay, so this is total side tangent, but like I don't understand like polygamy or whatever. Like how. Why would a dude ever want to have multiple wives or multiple relationships for that matter? Like, it takes enough work, just me and you.
Yeah.
I don't got time to be like trying to juggle this one and juggle this one and juggle like that's asinine to me.
It's culture. It's
culture. I don't get it.
Culture.
I think it's complete. It's nuts.
It's culture.
It's freaking nuts.
I also feel like that because of what technology plays in our lives today has been a part of our culture. Yeah. It is. Our culture is totally different.
Yeah.
You couldn't seek, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
we have too much access
to everything.
So much access now.
To everything.
Yeah.
It's so easy and it's lazy.
Yeah.
It's lazy. I can type in whatever I want to type in and find exact people that I want to bond with.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. In any area.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it's fine to have a group. It's fine to have community. Community is so important.
Yeah.
But are you using it in the right way you're supposed to be using it? Are you in a relationship? Should you be DMing anybody? Should you be Tindering? Should you be Bumblebee? Was it Bumble? Bumblebeeing.
Bumblebeeing. Okay.
Bumblebeeing. And again, relationship, married, if you're not married,
it's a hard life for y'all out there. I'm so glad I'm not there. I'm be honest.
But if you're not married, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Look, you're not tied down.
Yeah.
You're not. Look, there's a lot of
There's playgrounds you can play in that I can't.
Playgrounds that you can play in. That's cool.
Yep.
Don't take my husband with you.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Also, you don't do it. You got to roll. I got 3 kids.
Man.
I'm gonna need you to get on it.
Yeah. God.
But social media can be used for great.
Yeah.
It really can.
It can
and
be.
it really can create a lot of great relationships that you connect with.
Yeah.
But there are also those relationships you connect with as a couple.
Yeah. Yep.
As a couple, I'm not hiding anything from you.
Yeah.
I don't need to.
Yeah.
If I need to, I really need to examine why I'm in this marriage to begin with. I'm just saying.
Oh my God. I hope y'all are taking notes on this one.
I'm just saying. I really need to examine why.
Yeah.
I need to examine me.
Yeah.
I need to examine what I don't feel you're fulfilling. I also need to wonder, have I told you about what you're not fulfilling for me?
Man, that's such a big thing because oftentimes like when people do things, they have legitimate needs that they're fulfilling in illegitimate ways. Right. So that's it's like, did I share with you like, hey, this is where I feel I'm lacking and this is what I need from you? Or did I just like step out and start fulfilling it on my own and I never even gave you the opportunity? Right. Like that's unfair.
Yeah.
And that's just piss poor communication.
Right.
Also. So it's like,
Yeah.
you might not even know that something was going on or something was wrong or whatever, whatnot. And even if I do share it and it's still not happening, like that's where you got to keep having a conversation instead of, well, she ain't giving me what I want, so I'm just gonna go find it on my own. Like,
Yeah.
that's
And on the flip side, these people don't know your life. You see your life as a whole different way than this person does.
Yep.
You could be, which we've talked about. You've served me on a platter to your family because you went running to your family a lot when we had issues, when you were upset at me. You served me on this platter looking real poor. You know what I mean? Like, not poor, but you served me up looking like I was the bad guy. And you had a lot of fault as to
I had
why
tons
I
of
blew
fault.
up.
Yep.
Why I spoke to you the way I did.
Yeah.
It wasn't right how I spoke to you.
Yeah.
I've learned how to honor you better. I've learned how to communicate my feelings without sounding like I'm putting you down. Those were things I had to learn.
Yep.
But I didn't know what you were telling your family.
Yeah.
I didn't know how, and because you're speaking emotionally, you're talking to another person emotionally. You're seeing that view.
Yeah.
That person has no idea what your house is really like. You could be having the best family and the greatest communication with your spouse and everything is right, but there is something that you reached out for.
Yep.
And that's where it started.
Yep.
And then you became the victim of what was me, or, well, she doesn't do this, or what. And and this culture today, listen, nobody cares. They don't care if you're married.
Yeah.
They don't care if you're with somebody. They don't care if you're single. There is no chill.
Man,
there is no chill.
no,
you could
none
be
at
married.
all.
They don't care. People don't care.
People do not care anymore.
Married
that means
people
nothing.
seek other married people.
Sure enough.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Single
it don't matter
people
that you
don't
wear
care.
a ring. It don't matter.
There's no
man.
respect. I think the culture has lost respect for what the sanctity of marriage.
Yes.
The intimacy of marriage.
Yes.
What marriage should look like.
Yeah.
And in this culture, my opinion, it became very loose. And people, because somebody somewhere felt like marriage was just a paper. Marriage wasn't as sacred as it is.
Yeah. We have so many piss poor examples, I think.
Yeah, it is. And it's like, we should all just do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And no, because the whole point of marriage and the whole point of two people being together is to fight out that life together and to walk this earth together.
Yeah.
And to do it together
Yeah.
and to, be unified in that way. And you walk through the hard. That's why marriages aren't lasting. That's why you're seeking other people.
Yeah.
That's why you're looking to
many
fill
soft
your
people.
plate somewhere else on social media.
Yeah.
Man, those people probably ain't real anyway.
Man, at the end of the day, like, I will not reach my full potential without her, and she will not reach her full potential without me because we were made to be together.
Yeah.
Like,
Can't nobody handle my crazy.
that's just, On the next show. No, I'm just joking.
Man, let's be real. I've never look.
No, that's real. That's real talk.
That's-
and we tell that to people, like when you have gotten married, like that's something that God brought together. Like whether you choose to believe that or not,
Right.
that's what it is. Like, and so when y'all are together now, like that's it. That person is for you.
Yeah.
And you think a lot of people think, oh, I could just go out and find somebody else, whatever. Nobody wants to deal with you and your crazy self. Like
It's true though.
Like most of these ladies, most of these dudes, they thinking they real fine, could just go find somebody else. Nobody wants to deal with your crazy self and your kids. Like it's not that simple.
there are absolutely 100 trillion% unhealthy relationships that you probably should get out of. Unhealthy boundaries.
Yep.
Unhealthy, there's a lot of issues. I believe that those are not for you.
Yeah.
And I 100% think that you need to be out of those toxic relationships like we've talked about.
Yeah.
That you need to leave those type of relationships behind. So there is a point where this is not okay and
Right.
this is not good for you.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yes, absolutely somebody else could handle my crazy.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't work out with me and Deshaun. It didn't work out with me and Jalen's dad. And that's okay.
Yeah.
And he's found somebody and he's happy and he's thriving. And we were young.
Yeah.
And me and you were young when we
Yeah.
got
Oh,
married.
for sure.
But we walked through the hard.
Yeah.
And it was hard when we first got, so much happened when we first
Yeah.
got married.
Yep.
And you chose us. So I fell in line and I chose us too. So, but we walked
yourself
through,
together.
we walked through that. Look, I was broke. Listen, you said, go ahead.
I paid her cell phone bill
You
for
did.
years.
You even put it on your account.
I
And
sure
I was like,
did.
man, I'm stuck.
That's right.
Then he was like, be
That's all
home.
it took was a cell phone bill, people.
It was a cell phone, and it was be home with the kids. It's fine. And then I was like, damn, I ain't got no job. I'm not gonna support myself. I ain't got no money. But seriously though, there's relationships that you shouldn't be in.
Yeah.
That you should first step get
Yeah.
out of if that's what's right for you guys.
Yeah.
On the other side, if you chose each other, you're gonna have to walk through that. You're gonna have to walk through that hard, and you're gonna have to figure it out. And it's gonna be hard for a good minute.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard for a while, and it's gonna suck going through. And your things are gonna come out of those conversations that you didn't think of, and that you didn't think it was gonna come up.
Yeah.
And you're going to discover about one another, and you're going to discover more about yourself. And, he didn't think at first it was this, and now it's this. And you didn't think that, this is really what it started it. But now I'm coming to find that this is the root of why.
Yeah.
That's when the community comes in.
Yeah.
That's when you need to be transparent with somebody.
Man,
That,
if y'all don't see the common theme in every episode that we have, it continues to go back to a few things. How important community is, how important, strong relationships are, having people around you, different stuff like that, accountability. But man,
Accountability is big.
And
transparency is big.
Yeah.
If you're not honest.
Have being transparent with somebody, like,
who is your spouse? Like, who else are you the most transparent with? You see me in the purest of eyes. You know me better than I know myself. You see me on the outside and inside. You know what I mean? Ways that I don't see myself, ways I can thrive.
Yeah.
My fears.
Yeah.
That I'm not honest with myself about. Your partner will see you in the purest of eyes. Ain't nobody gonna handle my crazy. 1, 2, they know you the best. They know you for who you are, inside and out. Yeah. We've done a lot of reading. We've gone on, time to read that we've been very diligent about. And we were talking about that the other day that we read about your community. God created community. He didn't create you to be alone.
Yeah.
Right. And so we talked about how important it is because it gets you out of your spiral, your mind, and
those negative thoughts,
negative spiraling, and those negative thoughts. You need community. Yeah. If you can't talk to your spouse, there should be somebody you're talking to. What was the line that we had talked about? That if show me the people around you that you have been honest with, and I will tell you how healthy you are.
Yep.
You can be very surface with somebody.
Yeah.
The internet.
Yeah.
I could be real. I could be a whole different person on social media.
Yeah.
Which we see and we hear a lot. you know, that, you know, because a lot of, you know, body shaming and who you are online isn't who you really are.
Right.
And so we see that a lot, that people are becoming very open and honest about, like, don't believe all the hype.
Right.
You don't know. You are who you portray online.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you transparent?
Yeah.
Are you honest? Or do you have those core people? But a lot of times you are very surface online, because not everybody needs to know your stuff. And there's a lot of stuff you need to be keeping personal. Ain't nobody want to know all your business like that.
Y'all need, I'm gonna let some of y'all know. Y'all need to quit airing all your dirty laundry out on social media, because you shouldn't. It's nobody's business. But when you start sharing it, I'll be like, huh? So tell me more.
Listen, I'm all about the tea. Pop me some popcorn and get me my. Well, I don't drink tea. Give me my coffee, because give me my snacks and my coffee, because I'll be right here. I want to be that ear.
I mean, it's interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's like,
and
dang.
you know, and I can also understand that people are like, this is my outlet. This is where I can be me.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, that's great.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Why?
Yeah. So social media is just it's a whole
hard.
nother thing in and of itself. Because a lot of times, like, you're seeing people's highlights. Like, you're not seeing realness of people on social media. You know, some people, okay, you know, but there's people that I know, like, I know well, and I look at their social media and I'm like,
that ain't who you is.
Yeah. Like, okay, if that's what you want to portray, like, that's none of my business, you know, what you want to do there. But I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I'm not comparing to just what I see on that. So,
it's hard,
I mean,
especially people that deal with, you know, self-image issues.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I've learned to not spiral that way. I've learned to be better, do better. You know, I think when we talked about our 2022 goals and who we are individually, and a lot of self-searching and a lot of, you know, the things that I've really started to deal with in this last, like, back end of 2021 is like, you know, looking at it, like we talked about, we don't got time to waste. We don't got time to waste anymore.
Yep.
What we want to build for our family, the legacy we want to leave behind, setting up ourselves as well as our kids. Like, I'm going to, you know, I'm seeing my patterns and how I am and who I am now, and a lot of what my culture has made me become, you know, or not become, or not be who I am. I refuse to not be authentic, to not be raw, to not be real. Because when you meet me, whether it's through our podcast or social media or in person, I want you to be able to say you were 100% who you were across the board.
Yeah. You're not gonna get Mark with different hats. You're not gonna get Abby with different hats. Like, if you meet me at church, if you meet me at work, if you meet me here at my house, like, I'm not changing how I act or who I am.
I refuse to be that person.
No.
For what?
Yep.
I'm going to be as I should be, as authentic, as real, as petty, as this is all who, like, take me as I am.
That's all her, folks. That's all her.
Take me as I am, Lord. Listen, I've never once said that I wasn't petty. I'm petty spaghetti.
There we
petty
go.
Betty all the way through.
Yeah.
I could be real petty, but I'm honest.
Yeah.
I'm loving, and I say it with love. I'm passionate about a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm loud. I'm all of the above. I'm Filipino. I'm, you know, I'm energetic. I'm at 4 a.m. You're gonna 100% get all of this. How you see me.
Yeah, you sure right.
Until 10 o'clock at night.
You sure right.
So
you sure right.
You know, I will not. I refuse to walk this earth not being who God's made me, and not being real, and not being authentic, and not being 100% across the board how you see me. I'm not. I think that's a big challenge.
Man,
people.
So all in all, like, this whole, we see some of the effects that you know, social media can have, and if you're a couple and y'all gotta figure that out, looking at each other's phones and all this stuff.
That's a supposed to talk about.
Yeah, we did. We talked about it quite a bit. But that's a conversation to have, like, you know.
Yeah. And a conversation not to take offense to.
Yes. You gotta figure that out, what works for you.
Yeah.
Like I said, because of what we walked through before, I am super open and over communicative about. There you go. That's the big word for the show.
Communicative.
Of what I'm looking at, of what I'm struggling with, of what, you know, whatever, whatnot. So
it's a good, you know, it's a good self-examination and examination of your relationship where you are now.
For sure it is. For sure
How
it
does
is.
social media take place in your life?
Yeah.
That's
So
huge.
yeah, it really is. It really is. Man, we continue to ask, like, you know, to follow us on different streams and you know,
Yeah.
all that stuff. But I ask you to follow if you find value. Like that's
Yeah,
the
please
whole
do.
thing. Like if you are finding value in what we're doing, like please let us know. We really want to hear from you guys. And that's where we ask for subscribers, is if you're finding value in it. We got tons of ways to follow us, Instagram, all that good stuff. But do it if you find it value. That's why I want you to follow, because we want to be providing value in your life.
Truth.
So
Yeah.
we're off for another one. Till next week.
Till next week.
All right. Later.